So we are here today to teach a couple of things. We're going to do a dusting cut on Savannah because we've done a dusting cut on me, and now we're going to do the dusting cut on Savannah because I noticed the other week that she's probably due for one.
I am.
And then we're also going to teach how to do curls on somebody else. So I will be doing curls on Savannah to see, you know, what we come up with. And
I'm just getting all the treatments
Yeah,
today.
you know, so she's going to be spoiled today. And I'm just happy with my hair straight today. So that's what I'm going to do, is live with my hair straight today. So if you missed this last week, dusting cuts are amazing for getting your hair to look just amazing. I wonder if you can get up close, Savannah, and if we can show them like any of the roughness of it. So let me see if I can show you guys. So there's, oh, it's really hard to tell.
You can see like the little guys right there.
Yeah, so what we're gonna do is turn her hair like this and try and get things to poke up. And then when they poke up and they're squiggly or wiry looking or unhealthy or have a white dot on them, then I will take those edges and we'll just make it look super healthy for her. So especially when you have a lot of layers like Savannah does, she has them all the way up here, so you can really dry out hair when you curl it.
Yeah, I noticed that. I don't think I'm going to go as heavy with my layers anymore because my initial thought was that I wanted to just have more like texture in my hair, and my hair lays so just slick straight all the time that I was like, well, maybe if I just get a ton of layers, that'll help. And it did, but it also makes it a little bit more high maintenance. So
how does it make it more high maintenance, would you say?
Kind of what you just said, where it does dry out those ends a little bit more, and I feel like my face frame pieces start to get drier a little faster. It also doesn't help that I chemically treat as well, so.
Yeah, you're really blonde right now.
Yeah.
So you're like really blonde and really layered, which is a combination for dryness.
Dryness for sure, yeah.
Bethany wants to know if there's a certain way you need to separate your hair to do the dusting cut.
I think there are some really important factors in a dusting cut. So one thing is make sure that you go horizontal with your slicing, okay? So I draw a cross with it, and then I'm looking to keep this all pretty, like, if you turn your head, so you can see the density is close to the same, the length will be kind of the same, so I won't have a ton of sporadic ones popping out. Okay, and then go ahead and turn back. So once you get kind of a similar piece all the way across, then you're looking to keep it flat out across here. That's the way to expose the most pieces. And then I didn't get any exposed yet. You can also kind of wrap your fingers in a couple of times like this, and that also will expose some things. So you can do it like this, or you can tuck another hand back there, and then that, or finger, sorry, not another hand. And then you can just go in and pop them up. Now, the whole goal is, you know, make sure your scissors aren't, you don't want to cut, there's a certain way, I can't picture what I'm trying to, I mean, I know what I want to say. So if you cut, if you're holding the angle and you cut back into it, I feel like you're teaching them to stick up, so you want to kind of try and get them at a point where they're going to lay over.
On the
and
arch.
that's really hard for me to conceptualize if that's really going to make a big difference or not.
I think it does, because I think, like, especially in my case where I have so many layers, like, not every single one of those layered pieces need to be cut. But if you cut on the front side of that arc, then you get every single little piece that pops up. If you cut on the back side of it, then you can see a little bit better which pieces actually need to be cut and which ones don't.
Yeah, so just be conscious of, you know, like what you're cutting. If like 50 pieces hop out, and that's one thing, like if your layer is really heavy at one spot and all those pieces pop out, but a lot of them are healthy, don't cut that because it'll be too heavy. So you're looking for very sporadic pieces, not heavy chunks of hair.
Yes.
And so, I mean, if you're talking more than like 10 pieces across the whole thing, don't cut, right? I would think.
Yeah.
10 strands of hair is like max I want to cut without making like a chunk in your hair. So
yeah, you want it to just be like minimal.
Yeah, you're just going for sporadic, wiry ends on this.
What do you recommend for people who have naturally curly hair?
I would straighten to do a dusting cut. So I'd get everything as straight as possible with a healthy blowout. And then if you have to straighten it with an iron, straighten it with an iron, and then go through and do a dusting cut is how I would do this. And you don't only have to do the top. I'm just really focusing on Savannah's because of, I think that's
the way
where
that my layers are,
Yeah, exactly. It's looking good, Savannah.
Now it is.
Yep.
Thank you.
This is just so my favorite. Feel that other side. Have you felt it yet? I always like to brush it and feel it.
Oh,
and
that's
just feel
nice.
Like, explain the difference if you can. What it feels like different.
It feels like, you know, whenever you put like a shine spray on your hair and it just like has that really like silky feel all the way through. That's how it kind of feels. It's like almost like she put us a shine spray on, but she just got rid of all of the little like rough pieces at the end.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
It's literally, it's not only is it my obsession like actually getting the dusting cut because it's not as rough as a haircut and it's really like gentle and I love people playing with my hair so it feels like that, but
I know.
I wish I could get a dusting cut like every 2 weeks just for that.
Right.
Okay, so I think we're doing pretty good on the dusting cut. We can always touch it up later. I think we should move on to curling
Yeah.
on others. How's that side feel when you feel it? Do they feel pretty equal?
Oh yeah, that's much better.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go in and I'm going to do a lean back curl on Savannah. You have upstaged in already?
I do.
Okay, cool. So once I understand what kind of curl I want to do on Savannah, then I'll teach you guys what I'm doing. So at first I'm just kind of testing out my angle. I think that's a pretty good one. I want her to have kind of a loose undone curl. Okay, so I'm going to go in and I'm doing the technique of curling on someone else, which is, and I'll show you right-handed and left-handed. So right-handed, I've got my pointer finger behind the light, so I switched from the hold where I usually have on myself to the hold, a stylist grip, which is like this. So we're gonna go in and we're going to do the same thing. We're putting the guide side towards her head, then we rotate back to ourselves, and then we're just moving towards ourselves. This is the most comfortable way to do it. I mean, you can go up, you can move towards yourself. All that matters is where the hair is running on this back side and how it forms back there. That's really what is shaping your curl. So it's all about putting the guide to their head, rotating back to yourself so you can see the guide, and then just moving in a direction away from their head that allows a lot of hair to travel on this side of the iron. Ooh, that was a good one. I really like that curl.
Love that feeling.
I know, right? Okay, so if I was going to curl left-handed, I would go in and hold on, I have to think about this. Put my hand like this, so I'm not wrapped on the back side of it, I'm wrapped on the front side of it. And then I'm putting the guide still towards her head, and then I'm curling towards myself again. And I'm not left-handed, so give me a second to learn it. There we go. So you'll see so again, this is what's creating the curl. Not squeezing tight. You'll notice she doesn't have to fight against me. Her head just stays really gentle and in place, kind of like it did with the dusting cut. There's no reason for tension on yourself or somebody else.
They want to know how big of sections you're taking.
I'm taking a huge section because I know how Savannah likes hair very undone looking. So I'm just kind of following along with what she likes. I should have parted the hair and started in the center, but I always like to see what kind of curl I'm creating in the beginning. So I'm going to do another left-handed, going in with the guide side towards her head and then bringing the guide side toward myself. And because I'm not familiar with that, I'm just changing it up a little bit to make sure it doesn't slide out of the top.
And then you're doing all of these right facing.
Yep.
You want to explain?
So when my thumb is facing up, I'm doing away from the face on the right side. When my thumb is facing down, I'm doing away from the face on the left side. So you can and that applies to both, all of on yourself or on someone else. So always your thumb is up on the right and down on the left. Same idea here. So up on the right. Whoops, I might have been a little aggressive there. I saw her head move.
Oh no, I started shaking my leg. No, you're good.
I was like, oh, I'm usually pretty soft about.
No, that was definitely, I didn't even feel it.
Okay. And then if I wanted my curl to alternate, then I would go in and I'd, instead of doing thumbs up on the right, I would do thumbs down on the right. And that will create a curl going towards her face. I don't know what I've curled and what I didn't curl, Savannah. I'm doing a horrible job sectioning. Don't learn from me, guys. Don't learn from me on sectioning. I'm not a big fan of sectioning. I just like how hair organically shapes. So don't take sectioning lessons from me on this one.
I'm the sectioning queen.
Are you? Do you love sectioning?
I do. I just like having really clean sections whenever I curl because I just feel like I have more control over it or something.
Yeah, it's so much smarter to do that, but I just like to see what hair does, so I don't mind doing it twice or something, or starting again or something.
Sometimes I'll play around, but for the most part, my sectioning is pretty clean.
Yeah, it'd be much better if I was.
Especially, I think, because I have so many layers, and I don't want my layers to all conform in with my whole length. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I like a lot of that movement up at the top, and so I make sure that I section out my layers so I can curl them differently from the rest of the hair. Mm-hmm. My shorter pieces right in the front, I mean.
Yeah.
Not every single layer.
I get it. So you're saying you would section out this bottom section.
Yep.
And that will be one piece. And then
I would do above it, yeah.
Yep. All right, so as I switch to the left side, I'm now still have my grip the same. I have the stylus grip, which is your pointer finger behind the light. And then I'm going in and pointing down with my thumb, and then starting with the guide towards her, and then move the guide towards me. And then you'll see my wrist stays straight, my posture stays good, all these things. I don't have to put myself in any funny contorted positions. I'm not burning my hands because I'm testing the iron. I'm just going in, rotating, and then step back to give myself space to go the length of her hair.
Or having to do crazy wrist movements and...
Oh yeah. Yeah, all that.
Christy wants to know, what products do you apply before curling?
Just upstaged mainly. And then the rest, Timeless and Big Time and Selfie Time. So all the other sprays we have are good for finishing touches. But upstage covers volume, hold, silk, shine, and thermal protection. So you're kind of covering the whole gamut with just upstaged.
Yeah, I don't ever apply heat without putting upstaged in. But then I'll sometimes use it throughout the week as a refresher spray too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do that too. If I've just had a long week of not having fresh hair, I just spray it in to have
And it kind of doubles as a hair perfume.
Yeah, it's perfume. It's all the good things all at once. And it gives it more shine again. And okay, let's see how I did matching curls. $100 says this side is more full.
Sometimes
That's not
it's just
too
that
bad.
angle.
Okay. Your bangs are already set in place. I don't know if I have to touch them. What do you think?
I touched them up with the blow dryer this morning, so probably not.
Yeah.
I like it.
I went more undone on this side and more done on this side. I was sectioning really well over here, people.
Maybe that's what I need to do. I need to loosen up on my sectioning a little bit.
Yeah, maybe, and then you'll get more deconstructed look.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
I do too. What would we do now? Big Time? Upstaged?
Yeah, maybe a little Big Time.
Never hurts to put a little Timeless on the ends.
Actually,
Okay.
yeah, let's do that.
Okay,
I
so
had Timeless in forever.
let's go Timeless on the ends. I think it's right here. Oh no, just kidding. We don't have Timeless over here.
There you go.
Oh, we don't have Timeless. I was just kidding. We have it. So I'll just spray that for softness on the ends here. You're really looking to just barely cast over the bottom. You don't want to get it wet after you just curl hair. that you can just put a little bit of casting a net over it to get them nice and soft. You can see how that just transforms them. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I can see it in real life here. It's magical. Why do we always forget how good that is?
I don't know.
Okay, everybody, when you are using Upstage, I love to lift and spray. Because of the way it sprays, because of, you know, all the ingredients that are in it, you just have kind of more an aggressive spray with it. So just lift your hair to spray in. That way you're getting it dispersed in the right way. And it doesn't just like come in and just spray in a line on top. You just want to lift and spray. Lift and spray. And then you just, you know, StyleTYME I would spray in just to control where I want something to stay. Like if I want it to stay right here, I would just spray that in place. So StyleTYME does that. It's like more the finishing touch.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks so much for joining us today, and we will see you next week. Thanks. Bye.